Hey YouTube, what's going on? Today I am in Chicago, Illinois. I wanted to talk with you about a couple of scenarios. I've got a truck that's a little bit older. It's got over 1,000,000 miles. I recently, in the last 2 months, switched over to Amsoil oil. The truck is running great. It has, like I said, it's got over 1,000,000 miles on it. It's probably under 1.1 million though. That Amsoil's kicking ass. This truck never got over 5.3 miles a gallon since I bought it. It is now on average getting around 6.3 miles a gallon. That's pretty big just for doing an oil change. I can't really explain that. I've had a lot of people tell me that I'm lying, that I'm full of crap. I'm here to tell you that Amsoil oil, and I also did a bypass oil filter, and I've posted videos on that. What the bypass oil filter does, it takes a small percentage of the oil pressure, like 6% of what your full flow oil filter does, and it filters that down to 2 microns. I've had some people say you can't filter 2 microns. It's too fine. Well, with a synthetic oil, apparently you can, because it's working. So I don't want to say that the bypass oil filter is what gave the truck the fuel mileage increase. I don't want to say that it was the oil that gave the truck the fuel mileage increase. All I'm saying is I've got a C15 cat in this truck. Sorry. And I have seen about a mile a gallon increase. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, 3/4 of a mile a gallon. I'm not selling you on Amsoil. I'll put a link in this video if you're interested in trying it. It'll allow you to get a preferred customer discount, which what I get is I go on the Amsoil website, you set up an account, and I get 25% off of suggested retail or something. Whatever. The little bit of increase over and above what I would have to pay for regular oil is well worth that fuel mileage increase. And if anybody out there will tell you that's not true, if you can get 3/4 of a mile a gallon over the period of let's just say a 20,000 mile oil change, you would be absolutely crazy to not spend an extra $100 every 20,000 miles, because you'll make that $100 up. If you ran 500 miles a day, you would probably make that up in the first 6 days. So that wasn't really why I came on here. Amsoil is awesome. I love it. It kind of sucks that shops don't have it, because I would probably pay $450 for an Amsoil PM because it works that good. So instead, I do it myself. I do it at home. If for some reason I can't do it, there's a little shop I know. They'll charge me $90 labor to drain the oil, drain the filters, or change the filters. Now that oil bypass filter, I only changed that one. I don't know. I haven't changed it yet. Amsoil is saying that it should be good for a year. So I'm going to say 8 months. Oh, excuse me. Apparently there's allergens in the air. So if I have to change that oil bypass filter once every 8 months, that's not a big deal. Which I'll probably do it once every 8 months anyway. It's a long time for a filter. That's a lot of carbon that I'm getting. So here's another testimonial. Since I switched over to the Amsoil oil, I've got a W900. I can't put a picture on YouTube. Maybe I'll get a video of it and I'll post it later. I have straight stacks, straight pipe off the turbo. I don't have any mufflers or anything. Since I did that though, when I would fire my truck up in the morning, and this was every morning without a shadow of a doubt, it looked like it was raining black coal outside. Little pieces of carbon would come through the exhaust and would fall all over the white hood of my truck, on my air cleaners. If I left the door open, it would be on my door sills right here, and I could wipe it up and look at my finger and it would be black. That doesn't happen anymore, and I can't explain that. I mean, what does oil have to do with the way the combustion chamber works and how much the exhaust comes out? So if you're a truck out there and you're running diesel exhaust fluid known as DEF at the pumps, that carbon and that soot is what plugs up your filters on your particulate filter. So with that being said, I want to say this. On this Caterpillar C15, I don't see that carbon or soot come flying out of my exhaust anymore. I could just imagine how much less carbon and soot that your particulate filter would be cleaning out. That's just a thought. I've heard some people say Schaefer's oil is really good. Guys, all I'm going to say is this. I'm never going back to not using Amsoil. Not only that, I have put in that Amsoil in my APU unit. I have a Dynasis APU. That thing runs a little bit smoother. It didn't use much fuel anyway. It might use 2 or 3 gallons a night. So it's kind of hard to measure that and say how much it uses without running a separate line over to a tank. And I'm not doing all that. I don't care that bad. Now here's another thing. I have an old trailer. It's a 2008 Wabash trailer with an old carrier unit. Now that engine was rebuilt or redone when I bought it. I bought it from Aero Truck Sales. So it had ballpark somewhere around that rebuild and things like that around 10,000, maybe 10,400 hours. So I think got a fresh PM when I got that trailer. When it started up, it would start up, but it would shake. It was loud. It would vibrate. And I thought, man, that thing is an old piece of crap. You know, it's an old prime trailer. Thing's been used and abused. It's got like 43,000 hours on it originally. You know, so that tells you how many hours is on that reefer unit. I put that Amsoil in there, changed the fuel filters, changed the oil filters, just use standard Fleet Guard oil filter and fuel filter. Pretty sure it was Fleet Guard. I could tell you before that PM, every time that trailer would kick on and every time that trailer would kick off driving down the road. The only time I can tell you when it kicks on is if I'm going really slow, going around a turn or a curve, an on-ramp or an off-ramp, something like that. I can still tell you when it kicks on. Other than that, driving down the interstate, I can't tell you anymore. It is that much quieter and that much smoother. With that being said, I have used that on 3 pieces of commercial equipment. That oil has absolutely changed my mind about going back to using mobile Delvac, and I was a hardcore mobile Delvac user. I'll never use it again. I have a 2004 Ford pickup that my wife drives at home. It's got the 6.0 Power Stroke engine, and people can say what they want about those engines. We love it. It's straight pipe too. It sounds like a little jet taking off, and she loves it. She drives that truck like it's a Porsche or something. I put Amsoil in that engine. I've had people say don't put anything in there but Ford. You know, I put mobile Delvac in there. We had problems with injectors. We had problems with the glow plugs, etc., etc. I put that Amsoil in there. Haven't had a problem since. It does meet the Ford criteria and Ford specifications. Okay, so with that being said, I also changed my differential fluids on that truck over to Amsoil. That truck has a 6-inch lift kit with 38-inch tires. You know, the truck has a pretty decent lift on it. Guys, I cannot tell you how much better that truck handles just driving down the road. For the price difference on the oil, which isn't much compared to Ford Motorcraft oil, which here's another thing too, in your Caterpillar, you can also run Ford Motorcraft oil. Works great. It's just not a full synthetic. It's a synthetic blend. The price difference between the Ford Motorcraft oil and the Amsoil is cheaper with that discount. So I'll try to find that discount and I'll put that in the link below. So, I'm not a salesman, and I'm not out here trying to, woo people over on what oil to use. Guys, I'm just another truck driver out here doing the daily grind, bumping docks, driving down the interstate. If you see me out there, honk at me. I'll honk back. Maybe I'll give you the train horns or something. Man, I'm telling you, if you guys want to have a better running truck, a more efficient running piece of equipment, switch over to Amsoil. I'm not telling you to switch over to another different full synthetic, because it's not the same. Some people say bullcrap chip, synthetic oil. I challenge you to try it. Don't use my link, use somebody else's link. I don't care. Go to amsoillocations.com or amsoildealers.com. Or find a dealer that sells it. I guarantee you're going to pay a hell of a lot more for 10, 11, 12 gallons of oil than you're going to. Did you hear the reefer kick on? So I'm parked and I can hear it. You're going to pay a lot more at an Amsoil dealer. You're going to pay like $38 a gallon. You'll pay $27 on this program. So get your own program. Use my link. I think I get like $5 or something. If you don't use my link, I don't care. Go find it somewhere. Heck, anywhere. Because it does work. That's a testimonial that I will say until the day I die. Amsoil is awesome oil. I also have Amsoil in my Harley Davidson. I put that in that Harley Davidson about a year and a half ago. I probably need to change that now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. So I have had good luck with Amsoil. 4 different pieces of equipment. My bike, the Ford, my Kenworth W900 with the C15 Caterpillar, my reefer unit, and my APU. So 5 pieces of equipment. It is well worth the money. If you want your equipment to last, stop being a tightwad and maintain your equipment properly. Matter of fact, Amsoil also has something on these with diesel engines. If you any diesel engine, if you use the bypass filter, you can change your oil once a year. They recommend that you use an analytical company, get your oil tested. But with that being said, you can change your oil once a year and run that oil. How many miles do you run in a year? 120, 130, 140,000. Just depends on whether you're team or not. Come on, man. That is a no-brainer. You can change your oil one time a year. Once. As long as you change your filters every 20,000 miles, you'll be good. So it's essentially like doing 2 PMs a year, because you have to add a little bit of oil here and there, just like with any other oil. And then when you change your oil filter, that's about a gallon. So if you add that up, you're probably going to change, it'll be like flushing the oil out twice in a year. So January 1st, you switch over to Amsoil. And then throughout the year, when you change your oil filters, you'll have to change those out. And you'll have to add a little bit of oil here and there. So it'll be like doing 2 PMs. I guarantee you'll save money doing that over whatever PM service you have now. And you're still going to want to change your fuel filters also. So, whenever you change your fuel filters at 15 or 20,000, just have your oil filter changed too. Carry an extra, 2 or 3 gallons on the truck. You should be doing that anyway. But anyway, and you guys, I'm telling you, that Amsoil is a solid and true, completely awesome oil that I stand behind. It's not even my company. I've just seen it do such a big difference on my fuel mileage. How smooth the truck runs. How, the vibration is less. The biggest thing for me was the fuel mileage, man. I went up 3/4 of a mile to a full point per gallon That's a lot. Do your research, Amsoil.com. Look up YouTube videos. I mean, there's other people out there. So if you've got a car, it's going to do even better. But in these big trucks, give it a try. Anyway, see ya.